What is up, my friends? Toby Wayne from Toby Wayne Studios. Hey, happy Friday to you. Today is a good day for many reasons. One, because I have the day off. And so I figured I would do this quick little video here. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. This is a good day. So anyway, today's video, I want to be talking about the different types of clay that I use and that I have used in the past. All of these clays are great. I'm just kind of hoping to break down, and there's a ton of videos on this already, but I'm putting my own take and my own experiences on these clays for you. So anyway, today I'm going to be talking about Chavant Hard, Chavant Soft, and Super Sculpey, which I went out and purchased a box of the Super Sculpey Firm, which I'll be talking about that one here in a few minutes. But anyway, yeah, so all of these clays are great. It's going to depend on your preference of what you like to use in your clays. If you're brand spanking new to sculpting, I guess I would go ahead and suggest that you start out with a box of Super Sculpey. Super Sculpey is great stuff. I used to use a lot of this back in the day, which was a Tuesday, by the way, if anybody ever cared. But anyway, yeah, Super Sculpey, and it comes with a couple of different versions of Super Sculpey. There is the original white Sculpey, which is what I cut my teeth on when I first started sculpting. And let me just start out by saying, don't do that. It's not very good clay. Sorry, Sculpey, but the original Super Sculpey, or I think it was even just Sculpey is what they called it. It was white in color, and it left a film everywhere. If you set it down, it would leave a mark. And it says on the back of the box here, contains ingredients that may stain or damage finishes on your coffee tables and whatnot. So, but the white was super noticeable. I mean, it was really bad, and it was super soft. Like I would actually have to put it in the freezer to get it to get back to a solid state so that I could work on it, because it would just get smeary. And yeah, so don't do that. That stuff's old. Then there's Super Sculpey, or just Super Sculpey, which is like a flesh tone, which is really great stuff. That's what I used, and I would suggest maybe, you know, if you're wanting to get into sculpting and using that, you try that one. Then there's Super Sculpey Firm, of course, and this is gray in color. Let's go ahead and break this box open here. And it's a little firmer, I should say, than original Sculpey and or Super Sculpey, which is the flesh. The flesh is just a touch more pliable, but this I really like Super Sculpey Firm because it's a little easier to read too, because and when I say read, when I'm looking at my details on a sculpture, it's a little easier to see those details because it is a darker color compared to Super Sculpey Flesh, which, by the way, let me grab some of that super quick. Don't you guys go nowhere. This, my friends, I should have grabbed this beforehand, but this is Super Sculpey, just Super Sculpey in the flesh tone. But yeah, so you can see the differences between the two. There's obviously gray and the flesh color. And this is older. This is an older batch, so it gets kind of crumbly. But anyway, the good thing about Super Sculpey is the fact that it can be baked in your oven. So once you're done with your sculpture, you can go ahead and just put it in your oven and bake it. We'll talk about the baking here in a few minutes, but the baking of it, then it becomes a solid piece, and they're pretty durable. They're pretty durable once they're baked, which is nice. So the difference between that and this, of course, is these clays cannot be baked because they're oil-based. So there's the big difference between the two. These are great for like one-off pieces if you're, you know, doing craft fairs and you're just doing like little magnets, or you're only going to do one of them. These are great because you can just make the one sculpt, bake it in the oven, and paint that sucker and make some cash off of it. This stuff here is, of course, oil-based, never hardens. You know, you can't bake it or it'll melt. Please don't do that. It makes a big mess. But these are, and you can make molds off of both if you decide to make a mold off of your Super Sculpey. I've actually done that. I've got several sculpts down in my display case that because that's all I used to use was Super Sculpey. So the one drawback with the Sculpey is the thicker that the sculpture gets, the longer that you have to bake it in the oven, which I have had experiences where I've done a sculpture and as I bake it, the outside of it gets baked, but then the inside of it is still kind of in that semi-baked, raw or uncured stage, and so temperatures and all that good stuff will affect it, and it'll crack over time. Also, if you are baking it, you throw it in your oven, depending on the size of it or thickness, you will see cracks starting to form, which isn't a big deal because usually when you pull it out, it either closes back up or you could just go back in and fix it and, you know, like just apply a little more Sculpey and then hit it with a heat gun, which brings me to my next point. You know, baking this stuff in your oven is great if it's a smaller piece. But the bigger that the piece gets, of course, you have to have a bigger oven. So you can bake this or cure this with a heat gun, which is probably what I'm going to do, and I have done in the past. So I'm thinking about revisiting Super Sculpey just to do a little, maybe some more one-offs, you know, just kind of original pieces, throw up on the website. You know, people love that kind of stuff, original one-of-a-kind deals. So yeah, so Super Sculpey is a good stuff. The only thing also that I noticed here is on the back it says pieces thicker than 1/2 of an inch may need bulking out with crumpled aluminum foil, which if you're doing a bust, you don't want to be doing a full solid sculpture of this Super Sculpey because it would take you hours and hours and hours and hours to bake in the oven. So don't go down that path. Use your tinfoil filler for a sculpt. For the insides. That's if you're using Super Sculpey. If you're just doing a regular sculpt, this stuff is great because you don't have to have any kind of filler. I mean, you can if you want to make it lighter, but I usually just have it stationary. So yeah, it's good. The other beautiful thing about Super Sculpey is that once it's baked, you can carve on it, you can sand on it, you can add to it and rebake to it, which is awesome. Whereas this stuff, there's no sanding. You can smooth. But yeah, they're both excellent choices for beginning and advanced artists or sculptors. So let's see what else. These can get kind of finicky with your silicone, but that's further down the line. If you go to do a mold, you got to make sure that it's sulfur free, or the silicone that you're using will actually not cure. It'll kind of stop or slow down the curing processes of your silicone, but that's another video. But I just wanted to touch base on which clays I use. Yeah, they're all really awesome. I did buy a box of this Super Sculpey. I'm going to be sending some of this to my buddy Jesse. If you get a chance on Instagram, check out Jesse, Clean Slate Customs, over on Instagram. He does awesome toy mods, and I'm really wanting to encourage him to try a sculpture of a bust because he's got some crazy mad skills, and so I figured I would encourage him to give it a try. So Jesse, by the time you see this, hopefully you'll get a chunk of this in the mail. Yeah, so other than that, these are the clays that I have used. Actually, I am missing one clay. This is Chavant Hard, this is Chavant Soft, and this is Super Sculpey, but I actually have Chavant Medium, which is my preferred choice because this stuff is super, super soft, and in warm environments, not good. It goes almost back to like the original Sculpey, which is really mushy and smeary. This stuff, God help you if it's winter or cold in your studio or wherever you're sculpting, because you will literally need a chisel to be working on it. And so I kind of go into the in-between, which is the medium, which unfortunately I don't have a block of that to show you. But yeah, so anyway, all of these can be utilized, and they're all awesome stuff. I strongly suggest that if you were thinking about getting into sculpting, please do, because that would be awesome. And make sure you, you know, just enjoy it. Don't be afraid of it. Jump in, have a good time with these clays. Costs. Let's talk about costs actually. So for a 1 pound block of Super Sculpey here, this was actually $16. So it can get kind of spendy, but a little bit goes a long way, especially if you're using like a tinfoil filler. You can actually get several pieces out of this with the tinfoil fillers. So that's cool. And then the Chavants, they come in blocks, and I think I want to say they're 10-pound blocks, 10-pound packages, 2 pounds a piece. So you get 5 blocks, I believe, for $40. But this stuff goes a really long ways, which is awesome. And this can be reused, whereas this stuff, once you bake it, that's it. It doesn't, you're done with it. And then you just move on to the next thing. So anyway, I just wanted to do this video. Thank you guys so much for checking this video out. And I also wanted to thank all the new subscribers and, of course, the current subscribers that have been with me from day one. So I have noticed I've gotten quite a few new subscribers to this channel. So thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my little black heart. You guys are awesome, fantastic. You motivate me to keep making videos, so that's great. If you guys have suggestions for future videos, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Toby Wayne Studios over there, and show me a little love there. I appreciate that. Yeah, so anyway, that's all I have to say about this. I hope this video was helpful. I appreciate it. And anyway, I will catch you guys in the very next video.